Alyce Simon, artist, born New York City, was awarded first prize in the categories of sculpture, painting, etching, lithography, and ceramics. 8 awards from Carnegie Institute, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Excellence in Sculpture, Brooklyn Museum, and Brooklyn Society of Artists. In 1960, Alyce Simon, still affected by that atomic explosion and the destruction it caused, was moved to experiment with the great forces of nature. The atom had positive as well as negative charges, she reasoned. The negative side we have seen with the atomic explosion. Science is a human activity, so is art. Why not develop something sensible, a peaceful and aesthetic art form, the positive side of the atom?
In this representation of the extraordinary world of the atom, an electron, for example, can mathematically behave both like this particle and like this amorphous cloud or wave field. The wave picture and the particle picture are both mathematical representations of the same phenomenon. They are complementary impressions or pictures of the atomic essence of matter. Because quantum mechanics lays down the laws of atomic behavior, it is the scientific basis for understanding the properties of everything we see around us. Meanwhile, on the experimental side of physics, scientists were building bigger and bigger machines. Machines for particle research, to probe into the nucleus, the very center of the atom. These cyclotrons, or accelerators, shoot beams of electrons and nuclear particles at great speed or energy to collide with other minute particles. Discussions and experiments related to shooting beams of subatomic particles through miles of accelerators, almost to the speed of light. Until they smash into their target. The results? Frozen and vastly magnified in photographic tracks, reveal the strange fundamental building blocks of the universe. Particles which often measure but a trillionth of a centimeter across, and sometimes exist for less than a billionth of a second. These are the particles created in the inferno of a 500 billion volt collision. An inferno, similar perhaps, only to that which occurred 20 billion years ago, when our very universe exploded in the primal Big Bang of creation.
When I think back,
this unique art form, researched and developed in the scientific climate, started with the phenomenon and developed into the controlled physical presence. The principles of mathematics, engineering, and physics are used. This to arrive at the precise energy form within each individual piece of sculpture. Advanced arrangements are made by the artist for the time and use of a particle accelerator at a chosen nuclear facility. The work has to be packed, crated, and shipped. She flies to the site to begin the technical process of blasting the acrylic and/or glass, the materials used for the sculptures, with heavy streams of electrons. By changing the molecular structure of the materials in a controlled way, freezing energy, Alyce Simon's art form has broken through the third dimension into the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. The process completed, the parts are returned to the artist's studio. They are arranged, carefully welded, sometimes painted and illuminated to complete the artwork. During the 8 years of research and development needed to perfect this controlled technique, she contemplated this awesome energy source. Her art form is an expression of her philosophy, which demonstrates how the great forces of nature can be used to create beauty rather than destroy humankind. Alyce Simon calls this new dimension Tree of Life and sees them as an elemental form which represent the source from which light and life began.
Alyce Simon was the first artist ever invited to have an exhibition of her works in an international conference on the peaceful uses of atomic energy. These nuclear artworks represented the country of the United States. For this exhibition in Geneva, Switzerland, about 80 nations of all the world participated. In May 1982, Alyce Simon was invited in Italy as winner to receive the 7th International Premium Città di Reggio for the art.